try to drag and drop some disclosures in real quick. So if you were to download disclosures off of Bright to actually set up an offer, either download those or get those sent to you by the listing agent. Those are just a flat PDF on your computer, right? Make sense? I'll take that as a yes. Hey, kitty. So when you bring something in that's just a flat PDF like disclosures, you're going to see it in here as it says PDF, right? So if I click on this, I can't just start typing stuff in there or adding things like I can when it's a form, right? So I'll open this and you'll see that what I'm saying. Scroll down to somewhere where there's forms. So here, right? I can't just start to type stuff in here because it's a flat PDF, right? So things like PDFs, you'll end up having to edit those in the envelope before you send it to your clients. And in the forms, you can do most of it with that before putting it into an envelope to send to your clients. So we'll just grab forms. I'm not going to grab all of them. Just do one of those and then the PDF. Right. As soon as you click on.
So the PDF, how did you add the PDF to the?
So I just dragged and dropped it from the computer. So you can just once you download it, and you can just drag and drop it in.
But what about saving it to? How do you if you're working on one computer, you can't drag and drop. Is it a button?
You just save it if it was like an email or if you downloaded it from.
Yeah, it's on your computer.
Yeah, from your computer. So you just drag it from like your saved downloads. You just drag the file over.
Okay, but there's no button at the top that says just insert.
You can also just click on add and then click on computer.
Okay.
And it'll open up your like finder for that, and you'd have to do that way. And then you can either drag and drop it in there from there, or you just double click it and it will add this or add your PDF. So when you check on when these little icons right here that just disappeared, as soon as you check one of these, you'll have this pop up. If you click on multiples of them, you get a couple more that pop up, right? Like will combine things. So when you have a bunch of signed documents at the end, you can combine them into one PDF. So you can send it to like the listing agent as an offer. But we'll get to that in a bit. Just do a couple of these. Excuse me. This is the create envelope button. So we're going to add. Actually, I'm going to use this guy where we all have to sign. So I'll do this guy. So now we'll just create the envelope. We're also going to add ourselves in here. So we'll do these three.
So they sign in that order, or it just includes a signature block for those?
It'll just include a signature block for those. And I didn't need to click on buyer broker. I'm going to have to change that. I'm getting rid of the buyer broker. And we'll add Duffy. So if you want to set a signing order where you sign first and then they sign, you can do that here with this box that I'm just checking right now. You can move those around for them to sign first, whatever, and then you to sign last if you want to do that. I am not going to do that for this for this at all. There's no need. And then down at the bottom, this is the message that they would get in their email. Subject line, you can edit this to say whatever you want it to be. Same thing when, and add a message here. So now we're going to just click on next, and it's going to take us into the document, and I'll show you how you can work into like that PDF. I'll make this bigger for you guys. Can we see that okay, or does it still need to get bigger? I assume it's fine. You guys can see it okay?
Yes.
Cool. Uh, so just show you the watch this because I did it after. Still have somebody waiting. I'm going to jump down to to the PDF so you guys can see how we have to work with that, and how it again just takes a little bit more effort on y'all's, and it will just put in those boxes. All right, so here we go. So with anything like this, again, you'll want to use this pre-fill tools option for like text box. Obviously there is a text box here, but when you do it when in these standard fields, this color is assigned to me, which means that only I would be able to see that text box. So for example, I just do 1, 6 and that versus this text box over here. And I click on preview, you'll see that what happens here. And why you want to use the pre-fill tools for things that you want everybody to see. There we go. So right now, as me, I can see both of these, right? But if I switch this to, excuse me, to bugs, there we go. We can only see this text box that was in the pre-filled tools, not the one that was assigned to me, right? So not the best case to use that. You'll want to use, like I said, the pre-fill tools down here, and you'll see these grayed out options, right? And that like everybody will be able to see. You just have to fill them in. Does that make sense? What I just showed you, how that works?
Yes, it makes sense.
I'm sorry,
can you just,
Can you explain again, like what the pre-fill does again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So the pre-fill, see how over here they're all gray, and they're not like they're not these colors. And if I switch this, it'll be a different color.
Yes.
So the pre-fill will go to everybody, right? So make it that everybody can see it. Anything that's done in these standard fill tools, they're color coded to that recipient over here. So only that person will be able to see it. Now you can work in that, and then you would have to go down here to collaboration, and then you can, if you put recipients can collaborate, then everybody will see it. But those are just unnecessary steps that you don't really need to take, right? So it's easier to just use the pre-fill tools when you're filling stuff in like this, and then going to the standard fields for signatures to put the signature boxes in for each person. And I'll show you how to do that easily without having to switch over a bunch of things. But did that help a little bit on what the pre-fill versus standard is?
Yeah, so pre-fill is what everyone can see.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Let me see if I have hopefully this has a lead paint one somewhere. All right, so if you guys if any of you are, I'm assuming most of you, if not all of you, are licensed in Maryland, or this might be the federal one. But you've seen this lead-based paint form where you have to put a bunch of initial boxes for your client, and then also the signature boxes. And this is why I wanted to have two buyers on here so you could see this. So for this, the buyer's acknowledgement of these things, right? We've got these here.
Mhm.
And I know that this is now still set as if to me, right, with this color, which I will show you why I don't really care about that right now. And I can just put these initial boxes in here.
Mhm.
Throw one in here just to make it small real quick. Uh,
Okay.
Also, if you click on initial and then hold down the shift button, you can just keep putting boxes down.
Okay.
All right. So that little shortcut will help. The other thing, and it's like, oh shit, sorry, excuse my language. If anybody is offended, apologize. Oh dang, I just put all these boxes in and they're set for me, right? I'm not the client. I'm not the one signing or initialing on this. Super
Okay.
simple. You don't need to delete it. You don't need to redo it. Highlight the boxes. Come over here, switch it over to Bugs. And you see the color change there for these three. Now Bugs Bunny will sign these. I can do the same with this. Just highlight all three of them. I'm going to switch this over to Daffy Duck. We're good to go. I don't need to redo all that, right? So I don't have to come in here every single time and switch this to Daffy or switch that to whatever. I will work in whichever person happens to be the first person here and put these boxes in, and I'll just change the recipient as needed. And then if I needed to, like, we'll just do this here real quick. We'll do the signature. Let me admit this person. So we'll do the signature. I'm just going to hold down shift again. 1, 2, 3. All right. Date signed. Oops, didn't mean to hit that. Date signed. We're going to hold down the shift, drop 3 of them, and we're all set. Just change this over to Bugs. Change this over to Daffy. That's a lot faster than coming in here and changing this and then grabbing what I need every single time. If I know that I'm going to need to use their signatures again together, again, highlight all of them. Command C on a Mac, which is what I'm using. I'm assuming it's Control C if you're on a PC, but you can just copy these and then go to the next form and paste it, and then just move it to wherever you want. All right. So those little shortcuts at least will help you when you're trying to do this, especially working with these PDFs, right? In Maryland, we know that we got a lot of disclosures and have to do that a bunch of times. And you can do that with any of the fields, right? So if I was in like this one right here, if I just threw the date, like a text box with the date and the name, I can copy all of that and just put it on those forms all the way down. It should save you a bunch of time. At least it does for me. I feel like it does. Does that make sense? Questions on that?
Do you just mind? I got the gist of it, but do you mind just kind of rerunning that one more time, please? Of how you kind of have multiple recipients on that.
Sure. So I'll just do it with the initials again. One, grab initials, hold down shift, and you can put multiple boxes of whatever it is that you're putting in.
And how do you toggle like
I'm getting there for you.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yep. So you're going to highlight all of these. I don't want this to be me as it is right now, right? The recipient is me. So I'm just going to change this to the client that I want. So I'm going to put Bugs Bunny over here. I'm going to highlight these 3, and I'm going to put I'm going to put Daffy Duck over here. Done. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I think I just missed that part. Thank you.
All good. Yeah, no worries. Everybody else good on that part?
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that's a yes. So when you're done with all of that, you're just going to hit send. I am going to get rid of all of these so that we don't have to deal with me going into a bunch of emails to sign this. I'm just going to leave mine in there so that you guys will see what your client sees. I just want to make sure I don't have any more that I put in there. Just that. We have fit in because I want this to end up being completed for you. So I didn't mean to. Obviously, I deleted the names. Don't worry about it. All right. So hopefully this works fine since there are supposed to be 3 people signing on this. So we're just going to hit send and it will, in theory, like come to me. Let's see what it does though. Missing fields for recipients. It's telling me that I need to add fields for Bugs and Daffy. If you add people in there that don't have anything to sign or don't have anything, it's going to give you this. That shouldn't happen to you. So I'm going to just send without fields. Now it should take us to the envelopes. And it'll say needs my signature. If they're if we were still waiting for them, it'll just say waiting for others, right? As you're waiting for them to sign. But for us, we can just go ahead and sign it on our end real quick. So on sign. There will also be an email that goes out to you on your end and to their end, but we're just staying in here just so you guys can see this. So click on start. Your client will see the same thing. So if you haven't seen this before, you can tell your client, hey, when you click on the link, it'll open this up, click on start. It'll take you to wherever you need to sign. And that's it. And then you can click on finish. And it automatically sends it back to you. When they click on finish, it automatically sends it back to you. So they don't have to do anything else. You'll just get it right back.
When you talked about send without fields, can you tell me again what that meant?
That just meant I didn't have anything for them to sign, so that's why it popped up. Okay. And cursed, it's going to say waiting for others. So what we're going to do, see if usually this won't work, but I'm going to give it a shot. Because once you send something out, can't really correct it. I'm just going to see if by chance this will, no. I'm just going to delete them from this. Correct. Hopefully now it'll just say done. Once it puts this in there, come on. All right. So once they would have signed, if everybody would have signed, they'll say completed, right? I deleted them so that they didn't have anything to sign, so the document isn't waiting for anything. So now we're going to go back to documents, and we're going to see these documents that we just sent, right? They come back as signed. They're green. These are also now flat PDFs. They don't say PDF because you didn't bring them in. These are signed forms that happened in Docusign, so you know what they are. So go ahead. I think somebody was about to say something. We're not. So
I got a question.
Yep, go for it.
So when they finish, when everything is finished and it's completely signed and everything, so it automatically goes back into the My Document section?
Yep.
Okay.
And it'll come back as a green icon with this little check mark and say signed.
Oh, okay.
And that way you'll know it's signed.
Okay.
And right. So we didn't use obviously all of the forms, but we used this one, which is again, this form down here is now signed up here with this. So when you're sending this when you're putting this together to send to another agent, right? Like, or if these were just the buyer documents that you have to submit to compliance. I know that this is the buyer broker agreement and not the sales contract. If you guys can just play along with me, pretend that this is like the contract and this is the disclosures, right? And we wanted to put this together as our offer documents, right? And pretend obvious we have all the things that you need. You know, your lender letter, all of the things are in here. We've checked them all. We check on these, we do a combine. You can move these around however you want. So if there would be more down here, you would be able to move those around too, right? You can just drag and drop however you want that packet of documents to look, right? Whatever order you want. And then what did we say we're doing? 7801 Woodmont Avenue. Actually, I don't need to do all that. Let me just do offer documents if you want, or you could type in the whole thing. If you're gonna just go ahead and send it to somebody and you want them to have that as the name of the document. 7801 Woodmont Avenue offer. So now this is all one PDF with both of these files, right? If I open this up, take a second because we just did it. Try one more time. So it's all of the things in one PDF. Make sense? Like that's how you want to send it to somebody, right? I'll assume you guys are agreeing with me. So that's how you would do that, right? So from here, you can check on this again, and you can just download it. It'll go down to your computer. When you're creating an email, just upload that file into your email and put whatever it is you normally email to somebody with your offer. Cool?
Got it.
Yes.
Awesome. We have questions on that, on any of that, because I know, like I said, I know I'm going to like go through it quickly, but I wanted to make sure I showed you kind of all of the things here with that.
Can you say the download function again? What
Yeah.
is that something that we would pull from another email and bring it into this DocuSign?
So like, if you were emailed disclosures or if you downloaded disclosures from Bright, right? If they had uploaded them in there, then yeah, you can either click on add and then click on computer, and then you would just bring find that file and bring it in here.
Mhm.
And that's how you would bring in like these disclosures
Okay,
that I put in here.
thank you.
Everything else, like if you needed to add some forms here, because again, this is just like the buyer forms. Because I skipped through a bunch because I wanted to show you guys that stuff. So now if we were like actually going to add in our contract forms, right? This is going to look different on mine because I have access to the different offices. So you guys probably won't see this, like with all of the different office numbers here, you will probably only see your own. So you won't have as many most likely. So if, again, we were in Montgomery County, so let me just scroll down. And this is where it gets a little bit difficult because you guys can see this little window that popped up, right? In the screen share still? With all the forms. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure because sometimes when it opens up little windows, it doesn't. So I'm going to click on this Montgomery County one. There are a bunch of them, but this is, I'm looking for the sales contract forms I'm in office 905. Here we go. So sales contract form. So if I need to add any of these things, like addendum of clauses, right? You just check off what you need. And again, we didn't go through all of this. Inclusion sections will be in there. Lead paint will be in there. But for your end, anything that you need to, like a conventional financing, we'll say, just check off the ones that you need, and then you can add selected. You can also, so let me scroll back up here so you guys can kind of see what we have. Melinda, again, our compliance has put these folders together, right? So if you just click on one of these, this will be all of your buyer form stuff, your listing stuff, rental form stuff, sales contract. And it's not all of the things, but it's the most used ones. If you need something that's not in the sales contract form set, but it's still a GCAR form, you can click into here and then look for something more specific or search something more specific. But here's basically all of the GCAR forms if you click down here. So if you don't see it in one of the folders that has been set up for us, you just, again, go down to the libraries. But these are all folders that have been, or packets is the way they call it here, but I call it folders that have been set up for us. So if I click on add selected to the 3 that I just clicked on, or 4 apparently I clicked on, it'll add these for us here. Right, and again, since these are forms that we brought in, these are Docusign forms. If I click on this, we should be able to work in it and make it easier again for that, so you don't have to do it in the envelope, right? So all of these I can just type away in the forms when we bring them in as a Docusign form. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Questions on any of that or anything else so far on this stuff?
Gal, can you talk
Yep.
about putting things into different folders within your documents? Because I was getting so confused since I'm not really familiar with the names of all the different documents, like to put the buyer's document, like
Yes. So you can,
that helped me.
yeah. So if you want to create a folder, like this is the room documents folder. Where are we? Actions. Add a folder. Now, the annoying thing about this is when you create a folder. So let's just do buyer box, right? Whenever you send something out from, even if you have stuff in as buyer documents and you create an envelope, it's going to go back into your room documents. So you're going to have to move it there afterwards yourself. It doesn't stay there just because you sent it from there. It's an annoying feature of this that I wish was better. But I don't want to say it sucks, but it's a little frustrating, right? So
I'm sorry, can you, because this is a really good question, and I don't mean to interrupt, but
no, you're good.
and I may be the only one, but I'm confused on the folder versus the envelope. I'm sorry, I keep,
The envelope is what you're sending out to your client to
okay,
sign. Is when you're ready for something to be sent, you put it in an envelope, it gets sent out to you and the clients to sign if you have to sign it, whoever has to sign it, and then it comes back to you signed. But it does put those in here for you automatically. You don't have to do that. It
okay,
just puts them back into your documents, into the room documents. But that's what the envelope is for when you're sending something to be signed. Does
okay.
that help at all or no? Did that clear it?
Yeah, is that what you have to create, or it's automatically when you come into DocuSign and you have the form, they're automatically going to be there? Is that?
Some of the forms will be here
Yeah,
automatically. If
okay.
it's a buyer, you'll get some of the buyer forms, but no envelopes are automatically there. You create the envelopes yourself
Okay.
with whatever forms you want to be sent out.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. If that wasn't clear, just tell me and we can like do it again or something. So we can, I'll move the signed one over for us. So this is the only one that Victoria, this is the only one that technically is a buyer form that we got signed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Because doesn't it leave like a template in there as well?
yeah, so the
Like,
forms are
so
the
you don't
forms are
want those in there anymore,
the
basically.
forms are in here. Yep, these will stay down here. You can either
Delete.
you can archive them. I would not
Archive.
delete them out.
Okay.
I would archive them and then you won't see them. So here, let's just archive these guys, right? So we'll archive that. And now we won't see them here, right? Because we're just looking at active. If I put all of them, we'll see them again, right? If I want to see the archive documents, we'll see that these three are archived. So if that helps you to kind of clean things up and you want to archive the forms, I would not delete the forms in case like you need to go back in there for something. You don't have to bring them back in. If you want to move, sorry, I didn't mean to fat finger that. But once something gets signed, right? So like this, let's just archive all of these so that I'll archive that too. So we'll use this one as, again, pretend with me a little bit that this right here is all of the buyer documents, let's say, right? Like a PDF like this. We've combined everything into one PDF, and you want to move that over. You would click on that, or whatever you wanted to move over, and then click on move up here, and then you can select a destination, right? So we want a folder in the current room, and then we'll put them into the buyer docs folder, and then we'll just move them. So now in the room documents, that is the original stuff that just comes in the room, that the folder that is already started for you is always room documents. This we just created as a buyer documents folder. Again, pretend that this is like all of them. We know that it's not, but pretend that we've put them all in here because we archived the other ones. Is that what you were kind of asking, Victoria, about moving stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So, but remember, if I was to send like anything out again, the annoying part is that they will, anything that comes back like signed, right? Even if you were doing stuff here, sorry, you can do that. Like if I was to create an envelope here, even though I'm creating the envelope in the buyer docs, when it comes back to room documents. So you will
Okay.
have to just move it again, right? Like anything else in there. Does that make sense to everybody? What I'm talking about? So if you want to do that, like if you wanted to create folders for different things, which totally makes sense, that you're just trying to organize things, so you know these are my signed buyer document, or these are just all of my buyer documents. You can put the forms in there too, archive whatever you want to do, or just the signed stuff. If you wanted to have a contract documents, so again, same thing. Contract, right? So now I have this, and we'll move this to, let's say this is the offer eventually you've gotten through and you've got a ratified one, right? You can move all of that into contract. We just have this right now, but again, you would do the same thing. Just move it, folder in current room, and then contract documents. Move it, it'll live there. So if this helps you visually and just to stay organized, that's your move.
So originally there's a room, and then there's a folder in the room, and then there's an envelope to create to send things out.
Yep. So the room itself starts with room documents, and that will have some of the documents depending on if it's a buyer or seller. There will be some pre-added documents there for you that have to be used. So that's like actually, I'll show you what they are for this one. It's not any of these, so let me, in this case, I am going to delete for the purpose of just showing you what was in there. So we started this as a buyer. So these forms were all already in the room set up for us, right? And that's just done by Melinda, the compliance team that has put these things together for us. It makes it a little bit easier versus this being empty and you having to put all of them in. Make sense how that works?
Yes.
So these were already in there as room documents. Now, these are not all of the documents that you're going to need, right? So eventually you'll have to go in here,
And yeah.
add DocuSign forms for all of the contract stuff, which again would be, if I'm doing this properly, go to Montgomery County, find my office. For me is 905. These are the contract forms. So anything that I would need from here, I would go ahead and just check off and then add, right?
Right.
And then they will come in here as forms as well. So that's how you would start. Again, this is just the buyer stuff first. So if you didn't have a place to write an offer on yet, you would get all of this stuff, put this into an envelope. So let me just, we'll check off a few of these, right? Or whatever. We'll just check off all of them minus the sales contract. You're going to create an envelope right here. You're going to say who you're going to send it to, right? So that'll be you and buyer one. If there's a second buyer, add that person in there. Continue. Right.
Okay, because you're preparing just to send the docs before the contract gets to send to the client.
This is to send to the client. So
right.
in the same thing, you can move these around however, whatever order you want them to be in, right? Like just drag and drop these however you want. Setting a signing order. If you want to sign first, then it will only send it to you. And then once you sign it, it will send it to them. So that's one thing you guys should know. If you do set a signing order, it won't send it to the second person or the third person. And it won't send it to the second person until you sign it. And then once you sign it, it'll go to the second person. And it won't go to the second person, or it won't go to the third person until the second person signs it. Right? So if you just want it to go to everybody at the same time because all they're doing is signing it, just take that off. And there is no signing order. It'll just go to everybody at the same time. And then you would just go to next. And then, did you already see all that stuff, or do you want me to go and do this again real fast?
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah,
Cool.
I haven't done a contract a transaction yet, so I'm trying to balance both things here. So
Yeah,
this
no,
is
you're
just if
fine.
I'm trying to get things signed by the client first, like a exclusive
Yeah.
right to
So
represent or something.
Yep. So you want to get, like, if it's a buyer or if it's a listing agreement, right? You want to get those documents signed before, like, you show them stuff and all of that good stuff, right? If we're by the book here, like, this should be signed right before you go out there. I'm not your parent. I don't know if you do that or not, right? But should it be? Yes. Best practice, and these things are supposed to be done. Somebody has a hand raised. Go for it if you want to go ahead and unmute.
Okay, so quick question. I went into the Docusign to see if I could do a regular envelope or whatever. And I'm trying to figure out, where do I go first? Because my screen doesn't look like your screen. So how do I get to all of that?
So if you click on documents, you should have some documents in there if you created an opportunity and then had it bring you in here from command.
Good question. Okay, so you have to create an opportunity.
Yes.
And I did that.
And then there's a button that says sync with DocuSign, I think, or they've changed what it said. It used to say like start a transaction or something like that, and then it'll say like go to DocuSign or go to DocuSign rooms, but it's in the top right. Let me see. We can like over here, once you've created an opportunity and you go to documents, you have to pick a checklist right from here. So if it's DC, Montgomery County, sorry, if it's Montgomery County, PG, or Maryland, outside of those counties, or Virginia, whatever it is, you have to pick a checklist. It will throw all this stuff in here. And then this will say, I think it says sync with DocuSign first. before, and then once you click on that, it will open up DocuSign. You'll have to log in if you're not already logged in, and it will start a room for you that will look like this, depending on which checklist you've chosen in command.
Perfect. Thank
I
you.
think there's something to do also where you have to like link the accounts for the first time you do it, like link command to DocuSign. There's some little hoop to jump through.
Yeah, so that should be done for you by when they start you up. Scott Leroy Marketing does all of your back end, so they should have connected you. If it's not, then yes, you will have to do that. Which, sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to move you guys so I can see where that kind of take you to where that would be. For it, you should be able to go to settings. If you're not connected, right? But if you're connected, you'll see connected apps and you'll see the DocuSign here. And if it's not connected, it'll say connect, and then you would have to put in your credentials for that. Go ahead, Albert. I see your hand up. Go for it.
Yes. So I was kind of having a similar issue, but to actually resolve my issue about, you have to go to command and connect it. I do have a separate question, and maybe I have to contact my broker about this. You know how you create an opportunity for the buyer, right? I don't know if you've seen where it would be like either Moco County or non-Moco. When I do Moco, I can see the G car buyer broker agreement, but let's say I was kind of like playing around with it, and if I do non-Moco, it automatically populates to the G car still. Do you know why that is? Maybe I'm not getting the MAR one, the MAR version of that. You follow?
I think I'm following you. If you have already done it and it's synced, that's probably why. Because if I just change this now, I don't think that if I go to DocuSign that it's going to automatically put in new things. Let me see on my end.
Oh, that could be why. Because I was doing it
because it already synced it up with that original Montgomery County forms, which is GCAR. So it's not going to do it when you change the checklist once it already set you up the first time. You either start a new opportunity or just manually put in the MAR forms, which you could just do, which again should be pretty easy. So depending on where it is, right? But if we're in Maryland and let's say it's Anne Arundel, which was not one of those checklists, right? We'll just use this, even though it's not whatever 650 is, wherever that is, right? Then you would just check all of these, since these are the buyer forms. Again, make sure it's, I don't know which office you're in. This is not my office, but I would just, you won't have other offices like I have other offices on mine, right? But you would just add the forms for whatever county you need as a buyer form set, right? Check this and then add selected, and it'll just move them in there.
Excuse me, Gail.
Okay. I saw what you did. Do you mind I just missed that first step of how you got to those. You just did add, and then
you could add and then DocuSign forms, and then just on the left-hand side here in the packets.
Okay, I see it.
You're gonna scroll down to whichever. I just used Anne Arundel since it was the first county, right? And then look for the buyer form set. So this is the buyer form set for Anne Arundel, right? Or just MAR in general for MAR.
Okay.
And just click on that.
Okay, no, and that makes sense though. I'm gonna go ahead and try to make because I was using the same profile to
Yeah, that's why.
uh,
It's
uh
just because it was already synced with the GCar stuff, and then so it still has those in there, but you just change the checklist in command. So you just have to manually add it if you're changing now from Montgomery County GCar stuff to MAR. You're going to have to go into the packet that's set up for that, and then just bring them in yourself.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Gail,
Yeah. Go for it.
I
Whoever.
had a question about that. I thought if you're set up for the one that you are a member of, and I know Montgomery County. When you mentioned that, you have to be a member of their Montgomery County. So everyone that you want to use forms for, some of them you have to be a member of that. Like I'm a member of GBBR, so mine covers Baltimore City, Baltimore County. But if I wanted to do others, I thought that we had to sign up for those areas.
Yeah. So if you're not a member of GCar, you're not going to have. You will still have these packets show up probably in your DocuSign, but you won't be able to use them.
Yeah, I just went through that, Michelle. I got a buyer in DC and I had just barely gotten licensed there and I had to join then the G car. And I'm out here in Anne Arundel.
I don't know. It maybe it's different for each association. Like in my case, I'm a member of GCAR, and correct me if I'm wrong. I was told that I also, because I'm a member of GCAR, I will still have access to the MIR forms as well. Or I could be wrong, but I don't know if it's different for each association. But maybe you guys can shine light on that.
Yeah, everybody has access to the Maryland Association of Realtor forms, but you're talking that's kind of different. Everybody can get access to that. If your organization doesn't have or office doesn't have a form you need, we can all go to MCAR and get those forms. But if you're trying to do something outside of that and you're not a member of that particular, like she had to get licensed because she's now in DC and she has a buyer in DC, so now she had to get licensed, sign up and pay the fee. So you would have to do the same thing if there was something that you another area you wanted to work in.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that makes sense because I have a potential client in Baltimore and I'm part of GCAR, but my broker told me, or maybe I misunderstood, that I can still access those forms for that other counties as well. And I know GCAR is only Montgomery County and DC.
So complicated.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to reach out, but uh, I know this is kind of like a little bit off track, but I'll figure that out. But thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I would think Gail, he will reach out, and if he finds that he does have to register to be a member of GBBR, if it's not cost effective, refer out and get that referral fee.
Yeah, that's always an option. I think there's you can have secondary memberships for less, right? If you're like GCAR and MAR or something as your secondary, or if it is GBBR, whatever it is, NVAR. Some people need a secondary membership for that, so that they again can use the forms that are in here. Because you'll see the forms in here, you will not be able to use the forms in here. Like you'll be able to add it to your to your room. But it will not let you open that if it's not connected with your nerds ID number and things like that.
Yeah, and actually I'll add that not only that you can't open it, but then it gives you some message that you're supposed to do zip files and go open your zip file account, and all that is wrong. I followed down this rabbit hole and wasted a lot of time. And then my coach taught me that you basically go back and there's some setting within here in DocuSign or in Command that then you said, okay, I'm GCAR, and then it opened up my GCAR folders. But I had to have my GCAR number now. So that took another week or whatever to get qualified for GCAR.
Yeah, because it's all attached to whatever your membership number is, whether that's your nerds number or your GCAR membership number. Your stuff's all attached to that, right? So if you did just recently add an association, might have to like remove yourself and then add yourself, like add your Nerds ID or G card, whatever it is,
Yeah,
back
it
in here
did.
for it to refresh that information potentially. But that I am not super versed in, right, on what you would have to do there, whether that's a broker question or um, for that, I guess. Yeah, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I wanted to go back to
Yep.
when you were explaining to me about, I think somehow, I don't know if we finished or other things came in.
Yeah.
But we were talking about room and then you were looping to envelope, and I understand that was for sending out. And then the next one was folder. So am I like, how do you
So these are the folders that I'm talking about.
Okay, so the room doc, I understand, is automatically there once you come from
Command.
command. I
Yeah.
got that. And then you pick the documents and then, fill all the information for sending them out in an envelope. So
Yes.
that's the only two things. Then I guess the thing about folder is that's synonymous with something else, or
So I'm calling these all folders like
okay.
in here. I'm calling when I whoops. See how it says add folder. For the DocuSign forms, yes, it says packet. I keep calling them folders. But it says packets here. Because so I still call these folders also.
Okay.
If that threw you, I'm sorry, but I was
Oh,
trying
no,
to change
it's
it to
okay.
say packets. But these are the ones that are created by Melinda in compliance, so that
Okay.
we have easy access to a lot of these, right? Of
Right.
anything that you might need, like depending on the county, whatever. These were set up so that you don't have to go into the library, which is down here,
Mm-hmm.
of the entire association and individually find the different buyer form or this contract form stuff. These packets
Okay.
that I like to call folders were created again for us for as easy access to the most used forms.
So that aggregates forms and then it would put it in a where does it, so when you choose it and it aggregates the common forms, where does it go?
It'll go into here, into room docs.
Into the room. Okay, that makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm more of a like drawing the
No, you're fine.
process out.
You're fine. So yeah, if
Okay.
you just add form, you click on add, click on DocuSign forms, whatever you check off in there, and click
Yeah.
on like select whatever, it'll put them into here.
Into the room. Okay.
Yep,
And
and
then
then
I
you'll be
choose the
able to
ones that I
work in.
want to go ahead and send out in an envelope.
Say that again.
And I choose the ones that I want to send out to someone in an envelope.
Yep.
By
So
creating an envelope.
once you check on one of these,
Yeah.
it won't do it now because they're archived. There we go, more than one. So then you can just create an envelope.
Right, right. And
And
then
then
just choose all the signing things and all.
yeah, so you have to choose them first.
Yeah,
So,
choose the forms first.
yep, you
said.
choose the form, you click
Yeah.
on whatever form first,
Right.
and then you can create the
Envelope.
envelope. Yep.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. You've closed the loop now. I just wanted to make sure. I
Yeah,
think
no, you're good.
when you said the folder, that is something that aggregates the most common forms. And then when you choose that, it goes into the room. And then you choose what to do with that at that point.
Yep. And then yeah, so once it's in there, when it's blue, like let me just go to all so you can see everything. When it's a form, that means it's editable right here, right? You just open it up and you can type in, you can whatever. There's going to be a bunch of text boxes in there for you, or little like radio buttons. This one, of course, I clicked on one that has nothing. But I don't whether or not you were here earlier. So let's do. Oops, just open this up. So when it's blue and it's a form, all of these are editable fields. You can just click any of these if you need to check that. You just right. You can go anywhere. So that's when it's a form. So you'll send it out, and then it will come back to you as a green signed PDF, right? Once it's signed, this is what you see,
Makes sense.
all right? Or like this one. Now the form will still be here, right? This form was sent out, but like in the envelope. Sorry, what was that? Just gotta move you guys around. And that's what this is right here, but it came back signed, right? So, and now this is a locked PDF. I can't open this up and start to edit it again, right? Like the shit's locked,
That makes sense.
which is how it's supposed to be. Once somebody signs a document, you can't just start editing stuff, right? Because it's signed. So, and then red ones, right? Like this, are once we put things together and made one PDF of multiple files, and then also like this right here is a PDF that I brought in from like downloading disclosures or from either Bright or whatever, and then uploading them into Docusign so that we could work in them. So that's why this is a red PDF, because you can't download disclosures from Bright and just edit them immediately, right? It's a flat PDF. So the way you edit something like this is by putting it back into an envelope for them to sign.
Okay, so if you take a document from MLS, then you can't edit it if you put it in here.
You
in
not
DocuSign.
like you can edit these where they're
Right.
forms, because those are not forms that you're going to be bringing in a PDF.
Right.
So when you, for this, like you would have to put this into an envelope, and then you would do that. You'd have to put in the check boxes and text boxes and signature boxes and initial boxes and everything else. You have to put those in.
Yeah. So once you do all that, yeah, you can edit it there in the envelope.
In the yep, before you
Fine.
send it off. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Go for it. Whoever's next. I don't know who raised their hand first, unfortunately.
I guess I raised my hand, but if someone else raised before me, you can go. Since
I think you're the only one I see up there, so go for it. Go ahead.
Hi, Gal. Nice to meet you. I'm a new agent to KWCP, so apologies. I didn't join on time, so I missed the big chunk of the presentation. So that's why
It'll be recorded. This is recorded, so you can go back and watch it.
Excellent.
once it goes out. I think Alana will send that out.
Fantastic. So I will do that. In the meantime, if you could also share your contact details, I have a few other technology-related questions. I'm also mapped to Bethesda office, so I could follow up with you offline. That would be great.
Sure. I just put my number in there. You can
Awesome.
text me if need be.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I had.
Cool. Anybody else got anything? And if anybody needs it, my number is in the chat box if you guys need to take that down.
Yes, sorry, please. Regarding the GPBR and the other counties, please, does Howard County still falls under GGBR for someone that wants to buy in Colombia?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
So I have a buyer that is looking to buy in Colombia, but I'm a member of GBBR. Will I be able to help the client?
You should be. I don't know if you need an MAR affiliation separately from that one. You might have to ask your broker on that one, or team leader on what exactly you would need here. If you can obviously start the room and see if it gives you access to the forms, then you're fine. If for some reason it blocks you from opening a form, and it gives you an error that you don't have the like the privilege for that, or whatever however it phrases it, then you would need to figure out your MAR membership. Because I don't know if you join GBBR, if you're automatically a member of MAR. I don't really know how that works, to be honest with you. That's why I said ask your TL or broker for that.
Thank you.
Sure. Sorry, I couldn't be more help on that one. Anybody else got anything? I know we're a little over, but I won't answer if you do. I guess we're all good.
I got a question.
Yeah,
I
go
got a
for it.
question. How often do you meet a month?
So we do the Docusign training every month.
Every third week or every other week?
I think it's the third Wednesday of every month at 11 o'clock.
Okay, thank you. I see
Yeah,
you
of course.
every
Absolutely.
third Wednesday. Okay.